Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated, undisputed, junior welterweight, world champion, British superstar boxer Josh Taylor took on and defended his titles tonight against undefeated boxer Jack Catterall tonight, and it was a very entertaining fight. Jack Catterall was the WBO mandatory challenger from the UK. Jack Catterall came in the fight 26 wins, no losses, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'7" with a 68-inch arm reach. Okay, Josh Taylor, he came in the fight 18 wins, no losses, no draw, 13 wins by way of knockout, 31 years of age, 5'10" with a 69.5-inch arm reach. With that said, this took place in Josh Taylor's backyard in Scotland, okay? And Josh Taylor's southpaw, Jack Catterall's southpaw, and this was supposed to be a fight where Josh Taylor was simply satisfying his mandatory. We know Jack Catterall, he took step aside money to allow Josh Taylor to go into the highly anticipated undisputed showdown with then undefeated unified junior welterweight world champion Mexican superstar boxer Jose Carlos Ramirez. That was May of 2021, and Josh Taylor, he beat Jose Ramirez, dropping him twice and winning a unanimous decision victory over Jose Ramirez. With that said, Jack Catterall, he took a step aside money to allow that fight to take place. He was already the WBO mandatory challenger. So that took place in May of 2021. Okay, they were supposed to already have fought in November, but the fight got pushed back due to Josh Taylor testing positive for the C-19 and then suffering a knee injury. With that said, the fight finally got to fruition, took place tonight, and Jack Catterall got off to a great start, and many people, including myself, would say that he exposed Josh Taylor tonight, okay? I had Jack Catterall winning the first 6 rounds, okay? If not 5 rounds to 1, okay, going into the 7th round. Then I gave Josh Taylor the 7th round due to inactivity on the part of Jack Catterall. And then in the 9th round, in the 8th round, I gave the fight to the round to Jack Catterall. But then in the 9th round, then in the 8th round, Jack Catterall, he dropped Josh Taylor and got a 10-8 round. But then he was relatively inactive in the 9th, 10th, and 11th round, and the 12th round, the championship rounds. Then a point was deducted from him in the 10th round. But then in the 11th round, the referee, who played too much of a part in this fight, he deducted a point from Josh Taylor. But with that said, all night long, Josh Taylor was getting hit with a counter left hand, straight left hand, and the double jab all night. And he's a southpaw. Jack Catterall is a southpaw, okay? But Josh Taylor has a distinct size advantage, almost a 70-inch arm reach at 5'10". Jack Catterall is at 5'7", okay, with a 68-inch arm reach. So he had a distinct size advantage and clearly looked like he was the much bigger guy in the ring. But all night, Jack Catterall, he played the cat and mouse game with Josh Taylor, countered Josh Taylor with the jab. He stepped under and into Josh Taylor's jab, not allowing Josh Taylor to land a jab. From the 3rd round on, okay, all the way to the 9th round, Josh Taylor hadn't landed more than 6 punches in a round. From the 3rd round to the 9th round, for 6 straight rounds, Josh Taylor hadn't landed more than 6 punches in a round, okay? And even when he got above those the 6 punches, he still never got into double digits. The most he gotten up to was 9. So the counter punch ability, the accuracy of the left hand from Jack Catterall was giving Josh Taylor all types of problems, and he never made one simple adjustment to anything he did. So he never ever made any adjustments to what Jack Catterall was doing. The only adjustment was made was the inactivity of Jack Catterall on his part. He got fatigued. He stopped throwing his left hand. He stopped throwing his jab. He was just tying up. Josh Taylor was still the aggressor. His right eye was swelling from the left hand. Okay, he was showing the effects from the left hand. He didn't make no adjustments to it. But like I said, the adjustment made was on the part of Jack Catterall for not being active, not throwing the left hand, after the knockdown, he didn't throw his left hand. He wasn't throwing his jab. He was just simply attempting to make Josh Taylor miss, which he was making a miss. But Josh Taylor was still the aggressor. And I knew from that point forward that the referees, they were going to the judges was going to give it to Josh Taylor, who is the champion in his backyard and is being the aggressor. With that said, Josh Taylor was calling out undefeated 3-division world champion superstar boxer Gervonta Tank Davis, who is 26 wins, no losses, no draws, 24 big wins by way of knockout. He is 27 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. And the problem here is he's a southpaw as well. But Gervonta Tank Davis, he doesn't have many weaknesses. Gervonta Tank Davis has a lot of power. He has a lot of hand speed. He has a lot of accuracy. He has a lot of foot speed. He has a sturdy chin and a high ring IQ. He has the same abilities of Jack Catterall, but 10 times better. And the way Josh Taylor couldn't land his jab and couldn't time Jack Catterall, but Jack Catterall was timing him and stepping underneath his jab, Gervonta Tank Davis is going to have a field day with Josh Taylor. And the left uppercut of Jack Catterall was also finding a home all night. He's not a big puncher, though, and he's not very fast, okay? He doesn't have quick twitch fiber muscles. He's not as twitchy as Gervonta Tank Davis, okay? And so with that said, Gervonta Tank Davis' biggest attribute is his left hand, and most people will attest to his power. I, for one, believe it's his ring IQ, his ability to make adjustment, his boxing skills, okay? And so all night, if Jack Catterall can have that success, imagine what Gervonta Tank Davis can do. Now, Josh Taylor, he just recently called out Gervonta Tank Davis, saying that if you really want to fight and be a world champion at 140, you got to go through me, and called out Floyd Mayweather, saying make the fight happen. If I'm Floyd Mayweather, Leonard Ellerbe, Mayweather Promotions, I'm immediately sending over a contract, because Josh Taylor cannot make adjustments to left hands, okay? He has struggles with southpaws, and it was abundantly clear. And with the abilities of Jack Catterall, who's not that athletic, but just athletic enough to step into his punches, he was frustrating Josh Taylor all night, okay? And then another guy that Josh Taylor's calling out, saying he wants to go up to 147 and challenge undefeated 3-division world champion, former junior welterweight undisputed world champion, who is widely considered by many to be the #1 best pound-for-pound boxer in the world, in Terrence Bud Crawford. Terrence Crawford is 38 wins, no losses, no draw, 29 big wins by way of knockout, 5'8" with a 74-inch arm reach at 34 years of age. Terrence Crawford has the ability to switch from orthodox to southpaw, but Terrence Crawford these days have predominantly been fighting in the southpaw stance, okay? When he's in the orthodox stance, he's not as successful as he once was a few years ago. Maybe Father Time is catching up with him. His timing and his reflexes are not as they once was when he's in the orthodox stance. But Terrence Crawford has knocked out his last 9 opponents, okay? He has a lot of power. He's very accurate with his punches. He has a wiry frame. He's long and wiry. He's quicker twitch fiber muscles. He's more athletic, and he's bigger and stronger than Josh Taylor, okay? And so with that said, Terrence Crawford, I believe, would brutally knock out Josh Taylor. If he couldn't see the left hand of Jack Catterall tonight, he will not see the left hand of Gervonta Tank Davis and Terrence Bud Crawford, okay? And Gervonta Tank Davis, he throws beautiful little short choppy punches that you don't see, okay? And he has a lot of power, but he has the edge because of his short, stocky frame. And we saw the problem that Josh Taylor had tonight was the fighter Jack Catterall getting up underneath his punches and smothering him. Every time Josh Taylor jabbed, he laid in, he fell on top of Jack Catterall, okay? So he would do the same with Gervonta Tank Davis for sure. But he would also be doing the same and have the same issue when it comes to Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford is shorter than he is. So when he comes in with his jab against Terrence Crawford is going to lean in. But the difference is that Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis have a brutal left uppercut and brutal straight lefts and left hooks, okay? And they have right hooks, okay? Tonight, Jack Catterall, he wasn't even displaying his right hook. It was just his jab. And they both have great jabs, okay? So the jab would follow by the 1-2, the basic right hand, left hook, straight left, all night was giving Josh Taylor problems, and he never saw it all night. He made no adjustments to it. So imagine what Terrence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis would do. if I'm either fighter, I'm immediately signing on the dotted line to fight Josh Taylor. It's a big fight. He's a superstar. He has a huge following, huge fan base, but he definitely was exposed tonight. And I thought that Jack Catterall won the fight, but I knew the judges wasn't going to give it to him because the lack of activity from the 9th round on through the 12th, and the aggression of Josh Taylor being the champion in his backyard was going to see him victorious. So let's see what's next with Josh Taylor. Of course, he stated that the injuries, the layoff, and his health and trying to make the weight was giving him tons of trouble. But that had nothing to do with the adjustments, because he wasn't that fatigued. He just wasn't showing many adjustments in skill tonight. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.